Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Larissa and you are probably here because you watched one of my other videos called What It's Like to Have ADD or something to that extent. Now that video has recently picked up a little bit more traction, so I thought it would be fun, like this is all just for fun, to go ahead and do like a quiz because I have been diagnosed with ADHD. Technically it's ADHD, but I don't have the hyperactive part of the H. At least I don't think I do. But anyway, I'm gonna be taking a quiz on ADD or ADHD because I just think it'll be fun to see what it comes up with and what it says. Now obviously I wouldn't ever rely on a quiz to tell me if I had ADHD or ADD. You should definitely go check out your doctor's office or your doctor in general. Don't just walk into the office and be like, do I have ADD? No, like go actually talk to your doctor. Okay, so I think I already took a ADHD symptoms checklist quiz before, and that's kind of how I got the idea of doing this in the first place. So I'm not gonna take this one. I think it's this one up here at the top. I'm gonna do this one down here. Do I have ADD? TotallyADD.com. That just sounds like such a fun website. So I'm just gonna click on that. It already looks pretty cool. It hasn't even loaded yet. ADD and loving it? Explanation question mark? Other way around, sorry. I would say no. That's an interesting link though. I don't say that I love having ADD because I get in trouble a lot. Okay, I don't think this is going to load. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skip this and we're gonna go to a different, site. So I'm just gonna type in ADHD quiz. Okay, ADHD test, 3-minute test for ADHD, ADD, instant results. So we'll see what this says. Use the scientific test to help determine if you need to see a mental health professional for diagnosis and treatment of attention deficit disorder. Okay, I am 22 years old. I'm a female, newly diagnosed. Yes? Question mark. How often do you have difficulty sustaining your attention while doing something for work, school, a hobby, or a fun activity? But, okay. Wait, hold on a second. Work is completely different than like a fun activity. But I will say that whenever I first got into college, I had really hard time concentrating. And I mean, the whole time I was in college, I had a hard time concentrating. And I couldn't understand why these 40-something-year-olds in class that hadn't been to high school in 20 years knew anything more than I did. Like, I was so confused about that. So I'm gonna say, often, because it was often. I was so frustrated. I had really bad grades my first semester of college because I just couldn't concentrate. I couldn't remember what we talked about like the day before. It was crazy. How often are you easily distracted by external stimuli like something in your environment or unrelated thoughts? All the time. How often do you avoid, dislike, or are reluctant to engage in tasks that require sustained mental effort or thought? Sometimes I know that I have to do stuff, so like that's the only thing that keeps me from like not doing it is like, you have to do this. So I would say sometimes. How often do you have trouble listening to someone even when they're speaking directly to you, like your mind is somewhere else? I really want my boyfriend to watch this because this is every night that we are sitting next to each other in the living room and trying to talk to each other. Or this is every time we drive somewhere to get dinner and he's talking and I'm like, wait, can you repeat that? Because I did not hear you. How often do you have, okay, so I'm gonna say often. Actually, I'm gonna say sometimes because when I go to work, which is like a huge portion of my day, I have to pay attention to what people are saying or I'll just screw up their whole entire night. I'm a server, by the way. How often do you have difficulty organizing an activity or task needed to get done? Poor time management, fails to meet deadlines, difficulty managing sequential tasks. I would say sometimes because I have a ton of like notebooks and stuff and that's pretty much what helps me remember what I have to do. Like I write stuff down, I go through like a notebook per month. It's pretty crazy. How often do you fail to give close attention to details or make careless mistakes in things such as schoolwork, at work, or during other activities? I would say sometimes. When I lived at home, I know if you guys watched my other video, you already heard this story, but when I lived at home with my parents, like my stepmom would just ask me like, hey, you know, while you're at home, since you're a kid and you don't have to work, can you, I mean, I did work, but like I had a lot more free time to just sit around and do stuff. And she would be like, hey, can you just like clean, like if you see poop on the floor, can you just clean it up? And I would be like, yeah. And then like she'd come home and there'd be like poop on the floor and it would still be there. And I'm just like, oh, I didn't see that there. What? Like, we've had a potty pad on the floor for the past 5 years, but holy cow, like there's poop there. Who would have thought? I should have thought. Me. How often do you forget to do something you do all the time, such as missing an appointment or paying a bill? I would say rarely. Well, okay, that's now. Okay, so like I didn't really have a ton of bills to pay when I wasn't diagnosed. So when I didn't have medication, I didn't have a whole lot of bills to pay. So I would say rarely, just because I don't remember. So I'll give myself that rarely answer. It's the first one so far. Now this is continue to answer the questions on how you have behaved and felt during the past 6 months. So this is obviously probably going to be the past 6 months. Oh, I should have clicked no. That's what the freaking question was for. Have you been newly diagnosed? It's like, yeah, like a yes or a no. They think I just got diagnosed. Okay. Well, let me try to remember what it was like before I got diagnosed. How often do you lose, misplace, or damage something that's necessary in order to get things done? I never really lost things that were necessary. Actually, yes, I would always lose my keys. Always. How often do you have trouble following through on instructions or failing to finish schoolwork, chores, or duties in the workplace? All the time. That was me all the time at home. How often are you unable to play or engage in leisurely activities quietly? I could be quiet. Like, I played video games and you wouldn't hear from me for like until I got something out of the fridge. Then you would hear from me. You'd hear from the fridge. How often do you have difficulty waiting your turn, such as while waiting in line? Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine waiting because I just think about stuff. I could just retreat back into my head. It's fine. How often do you feel like you're on the go, acting as if you're driven by a motor? Never. I'm never, like, I could literally sit here for another 2 hours and just, I mean, it happens sometimes. How often do you leave your seat in situations when remaining seated is expected? So like in an airplane, I never left my seat. So I would say never. How often do you blurt out an answer before a question has been completed? Never. How often do you feel restless? Like you want to get out and do something? I would say sometimes. Actually, all the time. Like it's because I work so much. Like I have so much stuff to do here at home that the only time I get to go do something is if I go to the gym. So that's why I'm in gym clothes right now, actually. How often do you fidget with or tap your hands, feet, or squirm in your seat? I would say rarely. Like sometimes I have like a little shake in my feet, but it's not all the time. How often do you find yourself talking excessively? I'd say sometimes. How often do you interrupt or intrude on others, such as butting into their conversation or talking over what others are doing? I like to be included in conversations, but I don't think that it's due to like ADHD. At least I hope not. So I'm just gonna say rarely. Were several of the symptoms present prior to age 12? I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm gonna say no. Do the symptoms appear in at least 2 or more settings? I would say yes. I got a 25. My inattention subscale is 19, and my hyperactivity/impulsivity subscale is 6. 13 and 19 is moderate. Okay, so I guess my inattention is moderate. My hyperactivity is low, and I scored a 25, so I have ADHD possible, but like almost moderate. I love how they gave me like this little graphic right here. Mild ADHD possible, and it's all in like tilted lettering. Hold on, it wants me to place this graphic on my website. I mean, that's cool. I could do that, I guess. If people actually go to my website. By the way, my website is thefitfriend.com. If you want to check that out. I haven't posted in a while, but I mean, you might like the stuff I posted, 2 months ago when I actually had time to do it. Let's see if this other quiz loaded. Nope, it still didn't load. It doesn't want to tell me. Okay, guys, well, I think that's gonna be all for this video. Now, if you want to see a different quiz, this one was honestly kind of like a snore, but if you want to see me do any other kinds of ADHD quizzes, or if you find one and you see one that you want me to try, let me know. Link it down in the box down below. Don't forget to check out my video on what it's like to have ADD. Maybe I'll remake that video in the future. I know there's some things that even happened today that I would like to tell you guys about, but I can't remember them because I didn't write them down. That's what it's like. So anyway, a link to that other video will be up here in the corner or up here. I'm not sure which corner it goes to. I believe it's this one though. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!